What's going on, guys? It's Greg here. Just wanted to do a quick video about shooting posture, and I just wanted to talk about bent arm versus locking out your arm when you're shooting a pistol. Just so you guys know, these are all dummy rounds in here. So just in case I want to pull the trigger, I have these in here for this demonstration. But basically, I've been watching some YouTube videos recently, and I don't know if it's just the way the culture is now, and the gun culture, it emphasizes tactical shooting, and everything has to be tactical. And if you're a civilian shooter, you should train like a Navy SEAL, and you should train like a SWAT officer. And in my opinion, that's going overkill for a civilian shooter. I think the most important thing for a civilian shooter is just mastering the 7 fundamentals of marksmanship. You can Google search that if you want to know what that is. It's called the 7 fundamentals of marksmanship. Understanding the basic shooting stances, weaver or isosceles. Me personally, I shoot isosceles. I don't like the weaver stance. And then just knowing different shooting positions, standing, kneeling, prone, things like that. But so I was watching some YouTube videos, and I'm not going to name the channel. One of the channels is like really popular. The guy does a lot of gear reviews and stuff like that. And I was watching him doing some shooting with his, I think it was his Glock, and I don't know if it's because of the whole tactical culture, where everybody's trying to imitate, law enforcement officers or, military shooters, and they're over exaggerating certain aspects of pistol shooting that I feel is just unnecessary. And one of those things is locking out your elbows, when you're shooting a pistol. So I'll demonstrate what I mean. So what I've seen a lot lately on YouTube is a lot of guys, when they're shooting, they lock their arms all the way out, because they see it, they see the cops doing it, and they feel that, they got to hunch over, and do one of these things like that, check both sides, and really lock it out, and just emphasize, locking it out, because they see that on TV, and they feel that that's a more stable position because your elbows are locked and you're hunched forward, but in reality that's actually less stable. If you've actually spent a lot of time shooting, you'll understand that you don't want to put your muscles under tension in any type of shooting posture, because when your muscles are under tension and like when you're locking it out like that, there's a lot of tension here on my shoulders, on my back, to keep this locked out, and that causes my hands to shake. It's not as stable, and it fatigues you more, actually, in my personal opinion, because you expend more energy, locking your arms out, flexing your triceps, flexing your rear shoulder muscles, and keeping everything tight. It's a lot of effort, here on the back of my arms. You can see my tricep flexing when I'm trying to lock this out, and it's just unnecessary in my opinion. And I don't know who started that, but I just noticed that watching a lot of gun channels on YouTube. A lot of guys will just exaggerate the lockout, pretending like they're in some kind of boot camp for a SWAT team, and they're locking it out and stuff. You don't really need to do that. It's actually better to keep your arms slightly bent. If you look at my arms here, you see they're slightly bent, and this is a more favorable position. If my arms are locked out, first of all, it's more energy. It also takes longer, because look at, so this is how I normally shoot. I normally shoot like this, with my arms slightly bent. And just look at the extra distance that I have to go and the extra time it takes. So here's locked out, and here's bent arm. Locked out, bent arm. Locked out, you know, bent arm. And you can see that when you have a bent arm shooting stance, it's much faster to come up, you know, into a ready position, you know, versus from here I have to go and lock it out, and it's an extra step locking my elbows out. And like I said, it's not as stable. Your hands are going to start shaking. You know, your sights are not going to be they're not going to be as steady as if you keep a little bit of a bend. It's much more mechanically favorable because the weapon is closer to your body, so you have more stability because you're using larger shoulder muscles to stabilize. And when you go further out and you lock it, you're loading up all your muscles, and it makes it hard to really, if you guys want to test it, you know, lock your arms out and hold it like that for, you know, a minute or two, and you'll see that you get tired much more quickly. You'll feel your shoulders, your arms will start to burn. You know, if you exaggerate that lockout, you know, and you do one of these things, you know, if you do this try doing that for 2 minutes, I guarantee you're going to start sweating. Versus if you just come up and keep your arms bent, you know, just like this. It's more mechanically favorable. You know, there's no need to extend that lockout like that. It's pointless. It doesn't do anything. And it in my opinion, it makes it a lot harder to control the weapon. And it decreases your stability. You're loading up the muscle. So, you know, I just wanted to do that quick video and see what you guys think about it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. God bless.